Welcome back to our continuing coverage of today's shooting rampage at the Washington Navy Yard that left 13 people dead. Here with reaction to today's tragedy. Much more, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani. I don't know what to make of this. I worry when I hear how tough the security is at a place like this, but yet he was able to get an AR-15, other weapons on location.
This is very, very hard to understand. I mean, very difficult to process. The idea that he had a security clearance, fine. But that doesn't allow him to bring a gun in. Security clearance means he has access to information. If he's carrying something in, it should be searched.
Yeah,
No one cleared him to have guns. Right. If they gave him a security clearance, they cleared him to access information, not to be carrying rifles, guns, automatic weapons, even pistols.
Military personnel themselves are not allowed
that's why
to carry.
That's why it's absurd, because in that sense, internally, it's not a well-defended facility. No. You get past that checkpoint, these people are all defenseless.
What did you think of what KT was saying, that we have 4 million people now? It's become such a big bureaucracy that have security clearance.
Well, I think she's absolutely right. I mean, that number is impossible to vet accurately for the purpose of keeping the information secure. It becomes even more impossible to vet if you're going to let them have access based on the security clearance and let them not have their items checked when they come in.
I've had friends that have gotten on the FBI. I have friends in the Secret Service. I have friends that were on the NYPD. The background check is very extensive, isn't it?
Right. That's correct. But I travel to Washington. I go to the House. I go to the Senate. I used to go to the White House.
Not anymore?
A while back.
Not lately? Yeah.
And I go with police officers and security people. They have to check their weapons. They all get checked out. They have proper...
They're not allowed in any of those buildings with their weapons.
Of course not. They're not allowed in with their weapons.
So they secure it.
Some of these people have security clearances, but not security clearances to carry weapons in.
Right.
So, first of all, we have too many people with security clearances. At 4 million, it's impossible to vet accurately. Snowden certainly demonstrates that. But if we're also kind of carrying over the security clearance to allowing people to bring weapons in, then we're really making a terrible, terrible mistake.
Yeah, there's something deeper here that we'll find out as more information comes out. The first thing they said, Homeland Security, is it's almost like they raced to run out there and say, it's not terror, it's not terror. And fair enough, they said no reason to believe it's terror, but they haven't ruled it out. They said it in the 4 o'clock briefing today. Right. Why, in my mind, do I think that ought to be the first thing that they think of? Not be so quick to rule it out. I think just the opposite way.
Yeah, I think the honest answer right now is they don't know. If you look at the facts that we have available, which are very few really, it doesn't look like terrorism. But I don't know that I would make that conclusion now. What I would say if I were in charge of this investigation is it's too early to come to a conclusion. And because you might get a big surprise. Who knows? And then you look like a fool if there's a big surprise.
Sure. In this case, the one thing, it could be a disgruntled employee. He served in the Navy.
Right.
It could be a hatred of the military for whatever reason.
Right.
That may bring it close to the line of terror, but we don't know.
And a person that clearly had displayed anger, rage in the past, using his weapon inappropriately. I'm surprised he wasn't dealt with more seriously for that shooting that occurred in Fort Worth.
Yeah, apparently it was dispensed. I mean, you shoot a gun and it goes through your neighbor's floor and ceiling?
I used to get criticized and accused of zero tolerance when I was the mayor for treating some of these smaller things very seriously. We once prevented a serial killing by enforcing the rule that you got arrested if you didn't pay your tolls when you went on the subway. We caught a serial killer that way.
Did you really?
Yeah, I mean, when people commit these violations, I'm not saying you have to put them in jail for long periods of time, but you got to register this as a serious thing. Listen, so that maybe then it becomes a cause to take away the security clearance.
Look, I have had a license to carry all of my adult life. I've had one in Rhode Island, New York, California, Alabama, and Georgia. A carry permit, pistol carry permit. You don't have an accidental discharge of a weapon.
Well, he
you
shot,
just don't.
I looked this up online right away, even before the press had this. I got his record. He shot into a woman's home.
Yeah, because he was angry that the noise she was making. That's the way I interpreted it, and that he still got off of that.
Here's what happens, I think. You get arrested, you go to jail for that.
Yeah, right? You would think.
And second, your security clearance gets taken from you.
Immediately.
I don't think they ever found out about it.
Listen, we lost we lost 12 people's lives today. People, you know, literally fighting for their lives in a hospital.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he could have done it anyway. But we might have given ourselves a chance to avoid this if this had been dealt with more seriously. And also if that information had been conveyed and the security clearance had been taken away.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Mayor. Always appreciate your insight. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Hope you've lost your voice from the Giants game?
Yeah, I think so.
The Manning Bowl? Peyton was pretty good.
Back.
I'm an Eli fan, too, but...
We're coming back. We're coming back.
Oh, boy. It's a tough start. All right. I'm a Jets fan. Tough start.
We won the Super Bowl in 07, 08. And lost the first 2 games.
Very optimistic.
Okay.
You predicting the Yankees in the World Series, too, this year?
Until they are eliminated.
Okay. All right. Mr. Mayor, thank you. Coming